5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve. This is Live with Neve. Iconic musicians, comedians, and entertainers of all types. Interviews, comedy, and God knows what else. Hold on!
All right, everybody. Here we are going into our last segment, which is going to be long. Normally, we'd be signing off at this point. However, we have a really exceptional guest coming on. And for those who weren't around, I know there was 2 or 3 of you earlier. And I'm joking. The man we have up next, I talked about in the first segment. However, I'll give you a recap because I'd really rather hear him tell you. This man's been through amazing adversity. He's come through it. He's still smiling. He's got a wicked sense of humor. He's got a great smile, and he's been through more than almost anyone I know. I'm going to go ahead and let Irish tell the story, and we're going to bring him on, and I'm going to talk to him. And what I'd like is if any of you guys out there are watching, I think this is going to be a really good show, and I would advise you, please share this interview. I'm going to be talking to him for 5 minutes or so. But take this time. I don't think you will hear anything this good on any television program anywhere. Normally, I'm all laughs and making gags and just being kind of a goof. This is a real serious topic, so we're going to keep it serious and give him the respect the man deserves. I'm only using his first name just because I don't know if he would care, but I want to respect his privacy. And I will just tell you, you will walk away and I guarantee you're going to learn things from this conversation we're about to have. So if you have a minute, I would say settle down and just sit back, and we're going to tell you one hell of a story. Irish, we're going to go ahead and bring you on. Here he is, man. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good.
You look great, man. You're smiling. You got some rosy cheeks, man. You look like...
Oh, yeah, it's the Irish in me,
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have never guessed, I thought you were some kind of, I don't know, an East Asian or some kind. No.
Yeah, I on my side job, I do scam calls. I call
good.
Say, yeah.
Hey, man, I can hire you. I do, too. What I do is I scam call the scam callers.
I actually had a pretty good one the other day. The guy called me. He said, yeah, your warranty's up. You got to send me $900. I said, I tell you what, man, go ahead and text me a message. And then I'll forward the text, but then you got to call my other number. I gave him the number of the police department. This idiot called him. I said, great.
Oh, I love it. Now, that is brilliant. What a great response. Wow. That's excellent. So what are you up to? Before we get into the past, what's life? What are you doing right now? I know we got a lot to talk about, man.
Right. I mean... I live a pretty mundane existence for the most part. I'm a finished carpenter for a big construction company, and that's my days. I get up in the morning, I feed my cat, I go to work, I come home, I kiss my girlfriend, we have dinner, we have some laughs, and wash, rinse, and repeat.
Hey, man, you know what? I love the fact I'm a big cat guy. I love all animals, period. But mine would probably come in and make an appearance at some point because he'll get bored.
Mine too.
You've been down there talking a long time. Will you please come and pet me or feed me? What's your cat's name?
My cat's name is Willow. She's actually was rescued from underneath a trailer. And she's about the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Well, I have a trailer rescue kitty too, so in fact, both of my cats were rescues. But the first one, Sweet Pea, who's she's got big bones. I'll just say that. My kitty's, I love her to death because she loves to eat, and my vet's going to give me hell. But you know what? I know myself, a cat or a dog or any, it makes your life so much better. It really does.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Pam Ryan was watching. She runs an outfit here in my town of Highlands. I'm just going to, Pam, you do great work for the community. I appreciate, I will tell you, a lot of people, we donate to Pam, and she gets food out, and the dogs, cats, and shut-ins, people who are not able to get out, and a lot of senior citizens. But you'd be surprised. People from all walks of life with COVID are out there having a real hard time. And I just love her to death. She's got a great heart. And so getting back, why don't we start let's talk about this. I'm going to start way back at the beginning. Before things got rough, what was your family life like? Let's start there.
I mean, I grew up in, rural America. Little country kid, I had the big ears, the glasses and stuff like that. So I was just kind of one of those kids. I just disappeared into everything. But, my parents at one point in time before, mental illness and addiction wrapped them up, I had a good life. I had a real good life. And my parents were married, I think, for 14 years. And then it just, like I said, between addictions and mental illness, everything went sideways.
If I ask you anything that you feel uncomfortable answering, I know you've probably been asked. I don't want to give too much away because I'd rather hear it from your mouth. Let's just go ahead. Why don't you tell some of my folks how that unfolded, the whole event, and like the prior. Did you have any warning before this started that things were going to get that weird?
I mean, when you're dealing with your parents, especially when you're a kid, you usually don't see the people they are. You see parent, and parent is God in the eyes of any kid.
Right.
So, basically what you end up doing is this is your normal. And your normal becomes fine, dandy. So there signs? Absolutely. Absolutely. Would I have noticed them during that time? No. Right.
It's just, I can't imagine what it must have been like to what happened in the next phases. What was the triggering event that started the whole downward spiral of what happened in your life?
Well, I mean, I think probably 48 months before this actually happened is really what started everything. See, my parents divorced when I was 12. My mother left my father. And my dad was a really manly guy. He was a big, tough, strong guy. And my mom left to be with a woman. And that screwed his head up. And he couldn't take it. So he, plummeted into alcoholism and work.
Right.
And my father was one of those guys who became somebody else when he drank. And tough for me because I'm caught between the two. I think I probably went to 10 different schools between 12 and 16, bouncing back and forth between the two.
Right.
And my mom had always really severe mental illness. Like I said, it was normal to me. So I didn't see it.
Right.
And the things that she would say and do had just become normal. Not saying they were, but that was what was normal to me.
Right.
So basically, we go into, probably 14 or 15 years old. Friends, he's got just one fight after the next because I have a gay parent.
Right.
So, don't say nothing bad about my mama because she'll get into a fight with me, I assure you.
Yeah, right.
And that was what my days had become. And anytime I screw up in school, I got moved to the next parent. So, I mean, this kid, and I almost refer to him in a third party because I'm 43 now. It's a lot of work has gone into my life and understanding what brought on this thing because I wanted to know for myself, what was I dealing with? What was I working on? How was I going to deal with it in my older years and stuff like that? So, I mean, I really sat myself away from it so that I could deal with it because if I left myself inside of it'd wreck me.
Right. Well, I think that's common with a lot of people who've been abused young. I'll only speak from some elements. I had some interesting experiences growing up, had alcoholism in the family and things like that. And you kind of feel like you're running back and forth between your parents, kind of giving them messages, and you want to love them and you want everything to be cool, but it's not. Sometimes it's just not for whatever reason. I'm fortunate, in my case, my mom got divorced from a jerk and married the best guy in the world who loves me like a son, and I love him more than any biological dad I had because I didn't even meet my bio dad until I was in my 30s. But, those things that it makes you think a lot until things happen to people. They don't really think it can happen to them, or that life will throw them a curveball. I mean,
Follow, subscribe, like us anywhere you find webcasts and on all of our social media to get bonus material.